It's Monday, so you know what that means. It's time to enter the man cave with Marcus in the man cave with our beautiful, wonderful, amazing co-host Miss Janelle Mayfield. How you doing today?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, so we got a good show lined up. But before we get to that, you do anything cool over the weekend?
I got into a little pool with my son and it was so relaxing. It
Yep,
was great.
y'all about
My
the
dad
same
like
size, so it works out.
my dad filled it up with cold water and then him and my mom carried buckets of hot water to make it feel good enough and it was wonderful. That was the best part of the weekend. What about you?
I thought I was young, and I went
Mm-hmm.
and hung out with
Turn it
some.
up.
Yeah, I tried, and I turned right on down, boy, when I got home. Lost my whole Sunday. So I know now that I am not who I used to be, and I have to accept it. 30 is creeping up, and the joints and everything are understandably upset.
I feel
Um,
like when we left Howard, we like lost the power of the Black Panther. Like
yeah,
it's just gone.
it was stripped
It's gone.
away. It
They
was stripped
took
away.
it away.
Took it away. My knees. They not Meg the Stallion knees. They're not at all. Um, but yeah. So we got a pretty good show. And thanks all you guys for tuning in. Happy to have you all here with us. Feel free to drop what you did over the weekend. Love to see what you guys are up to when we are not.
Want to be nosy.
Yeah, we got to be nosy. We got to be all up in your business.
Correct.
Um, so something glorious happened over the weekend. Um, the Lakers are gone. The real team in LA is now going to the second round. And Janelle, you don't look happy.
They gonna lose so quickly. The Suns. I want the Bucks to win everything at this point, and I just feel like I just need to make some room to go visit LeBron because I got some words for him. I got some words. I just did you see the game? Like I watched it for maybe 5 minutes. I said turn it off.
Yeah, he he did not really seem to. LeBron didn't seem to be in it, and I get it. Um, I get it when your other superstars aren't there, but it just led me to believe that AD is the most important person on that team, and it's not him. And when you don't
But
get
I
back on defense and you watch your team just struggle like that, it, that's what the GOAT conversations have to stop for me because Jordan would never watch that just happen like that. Or I don't think Kobe would have. It's that attitude that I cannot get with. I just can't.
I, I can't remember exactly what John said. John, if you're watching, hello, best friend. He had made a really good point about like the comparison of Kobe and LeBron, and I just feel like even outside of comparisons, because I'm like comparing, because I specifically feel that people are just the goat of an era.
Hmm.
Michael was his era, Kobe was, and now we have LeBron. But as a person who really looks up to LeBron, and I feel like I said this before, his job is to play basketball. That is why he has access to the things he has. That's why he has Space Jam 2 coming. That's why he has The Shop. That's why he has I Promise School, because he has basketball. If you don't sit up here and not focus on the most important time of your job, like this is when you're in the running, like if you want to compare it to normal people, this is the time when you're trying to get a raise or something like that. We don't have time for you to be playing these games, sir. I was appalled and disgusted. I don't care if your team is not stepping up. You're LeBron James and you made yourself out to be this. Do what you got to do. Even if you lose, at least do more.
Hmm.
I was just irritated. I should have played. I should have played.
I
Give me a
just
24-hour
I
contract.
I think they were fortunate last year that the season was shortened. It allowed AD to get healthy and be healthier for that final push. But playing the amount of games they played this year with that shortened off season, I think that also took a toll. And they were the oldest team coming into the season by
Yes,
average age of their players.
on everything else.
Yeah. So
The episode of The Shot came out. He's been advertising for Space Jam 2. And I get it. I'm all about him having these avenues, but
yeah, it's I I think I think it's just time to say that LeBron is no longer the king of the league at this point. He is. I say he's the elder statesman of the league. He is the ambassador still of the league, but he is no longer on the top of the mountain when it comes to the best player in the league for me. And I'm gonna have to give that to Steph Curry because that man kept his team relevant with no help. I mean, you can say what you want to say about Draymond Green or whatever, but defensively, but that man had to put up nearly like 40 a night just to keep them even in a conversation.
Can we talk to somebody else though? Damian. That man deserves so much better. That poor man.
Man, his squad let him down.
5 points and we lose.
Yeah. I mean, and Luka probably feeling the same way.
Yeah, that's true.
Luka is probably feeling the exact same way. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how you feel when you score that many points. And then Porzingis is like what 7'3", and you out there playing on the perimeter to shoot threes. Why are you shooting three? You need to be in there tearing people up. You're six. I think the Clippers' tallest person on the floor for half the time was Kawhi, and Kawhi is what 6'8", and you don't want to go to the paint.
But that last game though, Kawhi said, "Okay, well, I'm just going to knock out every shot, and we're gonna call it a day." I
don't know. I think the Lakers need to. Lakers made the biggest mistake ever when they got rid of Dwight Howard. Letting go of Dwight Howard was, and I know you hate Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard wouldn't have let.
But you're right.
Gasol was not the answer, and
he would not let that happen. I cannot stand. I would tell Dwight Howard to his face right now, I think you're trifling. I can't stand you. Get out of my presence. But man, you should have been on the Lakers last season. I would absolutely say you should have been there. It wouldn't have happened.
It wouldn't have. And I think, the players that they let go for what they got, just McGee, they let go of Rondo. They let and all those players are still in the playoffs. It's just, it was baffling to me. They went and they got their ring, but I really feel like it was the bubble. It was literally just the bubble that allowed that to happen because it would not have happened any other way.
I'm rooting for Giannis,
but
I really want him to win.
Let's see what the Clippers do. I think the Clippers will be a great matchup for Phoenix. I think that would be a really fun match to see as a conference final.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least it's interesting to see like, okay, the Lakers got knocked out, but we can see like different teams now. That is the fun part because no matter who's gonna be in the finals, I'm gonna watch it. I just was not expecting this, and I just feel like did you see when LeBron was asked if he was gonna play in the Olympics? He was like, "I'll be playing with the Tunes," or talking about Space Jam, and I was like, "Sir, I'm so tired of you. I'm real close."
No. You got energy for that, but you ain't have no energy to be out there and play defense. So don't give me that. Like you wouldn't play defense, but you and the thing is, I love LeBron James. I love everything he does off the court. But this all that flopping you did, all that mess it's embarrassing. You 265 pounds, that big, built like a linebacker, and someone touch you in the face and you flopping on the floor, and I can't play defense. It's embarrassing to me. Like it's literally embarrassing to me. But with that said, I guess we'll just have to. I don't care who goes on the East really. I think there's nothing that's gonna stop New Jersey. There's nothing that's gonna. I mean, New Jersey. I'm old. Brooklyn. Excuse me, Brooklyn. There's nothing that's gonna stop them. There's nothing that's gonna stop Brooklyn from.
I wouldn't need Kate. I don't even want to talk. I don't like half the people on there.
I just want him to brush his hair. Can he brush his hair, like just for the finals when he gets there? Like
can we kind of compare that to the Bonnet situation? Why can he walk around looking like that
with BDBs?
If he actually put on
because he got millions of dollars, Janelle. He got millions of dollars. He can walk around however he wants. That's why. No one's gonna say nothing to a basketball player. But anyway.
Speaking of sports and Kyrie Irving, do we owe him an apology?
Yes. Well, I never.
I bashed him. I did.
Yeah, I think if we're gonna applaud Naomi Osaka, we have to applaud Kyrie. But Kyrie's problem is he treated people like crap in doing what he did. She didn't do anything to demean people. Like she didn't do anything like that. And I think that's the difference. It's the way in which they did it. Um, I don't have. There's a certain privilege that they are getting because they're famous athletes that normal people would not get, and we don't get to pick and choose when we don't want to do our jobs, and when we, so there's a part of me that's always like,
Good
come
for
on,
you.
yeah, good for you. I mean, I'm all about you protecting your mental health, but please remember that a lot of people don't have that opportunity. Um,
I'm rooting for everybody Black. Okay, I am. I think that our mental health is important. I think that taking a break is important. But I don't get to tell my job, like, hey, actually, you know what? Maybe I could with my boss, but for the most part, most of us are unable to just be like, I just don't feel like it today. And maybe it'd be different if she was coming out to say, and you know, I feel like anyone who goes through this should have the option. And she was trying to create a platform, but I haven't seen that. And maybe she will. Hopefully, this turns into something good, or maybe not. She can do for herself. But it's just, I see so many people applauding her, and these are the same people that complain about being exhausted all the time, being overworked, not making enough money.
oh, my sister Sanice is in the comments today. How you doing, Sanice? She says that the Nets will have a lot of trouble with Embiid in the next round. I don't know. I think yes, he will be a problem, but I don't think it's a problem they can't overcome. I think their offensive power, if Harden gets healthy and stays healthy, I don't. What was that?
Sorry, that was me by accident. I clicked the wrong button.
Oh,
Excuse me, guys.
but I don't know if there'll be that much of a. I think just Harden and Kyrie and
Well, Harden's done.
I mean,
He's
I,
done for the season.
I
You think he's gonna come back?
I
He
have
better
a
not come back looking stupid like
I've
AD
I have
did.
a
I
feeling
was
he's gonna come
sick.
back just because I mean you spend all that time in Houston fighting for this moment, fighting to get to the finals, fighting. I think he's gonna try to at least play a game just so he feels like they can make it. But even without him, I think KD and Kyrie are enough to make that go. Um, Anthony, you're absolutely right. Porzingis is robbing the Mavs, like robbing the Mavs, and Mark Cuban better do something about it. Like, if I was, imagine,
Thank you.
imagine, imagine if the Mavs had Dwight Howard. Just imagine,
I just
totally
Dwight.
different game.
There's nothing about Dwight that I like.
You don't have to. Man can ball, and his defense is good. And
But there are times where he does things and I'm just
hey,
like,
Anitra, I'm glad to see you watching. Love you, cuz. Um, yeah, but who said? Oh no, Anthony, you don't agree with that? You don't like that at all? But
hi Anthony.
yeah. But I guess we'll see what the Clippers do next round, and we'll see what happens for them. Our next topic is something that I don't have kids, but this was a really heated
Oh,
thing that came out. So there's this school in New York called the Dalton School, and it is a very prestigious school, and
mhm.
it's in the city of New York, and they had a teacher show these first graders, and that's about 6 and 7 years old, this video on sex education, and it also had some parts on masturbation. And parents were absolutely outraged that this would be shown to their children without their consent. And let me add that it cost $55,000 to go to this school. Now, I don't have kids, but I'll be doggone if you're going to show my kids I'm paying $55,000 that you're going to go out and show my kids something something like that. Now, I understand times are changing a little bit. Kids are being exposed to things a lot earlier. And I do think there's a part of me that says like kids need to learn about their bodies early and learn that these things are natural and there's nothing to be ashamed of. But at the same time, as a parent, you need to give me the option of introducing that to my child or giving you my consent to introduce it to my child for me. And I think that's where they went wrong. I don't think the subject matter itself is bad. How you feel, Janelle?
I s- it's hard because I agree with you. I think the number one issue is that you don't have the right to teach this type of content to students without permission from the parents. You don't. You have to give parents the option to opt in and opt out. Period. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Y'all are wrong. But if you want to move further, the only thing I disagree with is the age. And to a certain extent, I don't disagree. Now, they started with ages 3. I thought it was like 3 to 7 or something like that. And I thought maybe 6 or 7 might make sense. And I'm going to tell you why. These kids are exposed to some wild stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The parents that complained, y'all are the one exposing them or ignoring the fact that they're exposed. I know someone personally, I can't say who because I don't want them to lose their job, but they work in the school system. And they recently dealt with a child who accused another child of touching them, and they made it up. And they knew they made it up. And this child was like 5 or 6. These kids are very intelligent. My own son, Zaire, is going to be 2 in October. Zaire is scary intelligent. They pick up everything. And like I said, the parents have to have the option, but a lot of people aren't talking to their kids about their bodies. A lot of people aren't talking to their kids about sex. They're not talking to their kids about masturbation. And these are all normal human feelings that hit all of us. And a lot of people are afraid to have these conversations. And then 15 years later, they wonder why all their children have relationship issues.
Agreed. I think what struck them was like, the part of the video. And if you guys haven't gone to see the video, just Google it. It's going around. I think the part that upset them was the fact that they were saying like, oh, I like to touch myself, when no one's watching. And I think that's what people.
I'm sorry, I should not laugh.
But it's like people gravitated to that part when people were saying, oh, I like to touch myself when, mommy puts me in the bath or when she tucks me in at night. And I think people just like, oh, they're like so shocked from it. But it's like,
how did y'all get here?
Like, it's part of human nature. So trying to pretend it doesn't exist and we criminalize it. Like, in my travels all throughout the world, we are the only country that sex is such a taboo thing.
Come on.
You walk around Europe and it's just out there. Like, it's just out there. Maya says, I know my daughter's school does do a session on inappropriate touching in personal space, but once again, I was aware of it. Exactly. And I think you should be. I think it should be clearly stated in a curriculum. And also like some kind of consent form signed. Anytime you're talking about something like that, there just needs to be a signature that goes along with it, in my opinion. But I don't have kids, but that's just my thing. I mean,
I feel like you don't necessarily have to have kids to have that opinion or not, because it not only affects the parents, it does affect a lot of people. The students may not feel comfortable talking to their parents about this. I didn't see how long the course had been going, but if I don't know what my son is learning and he's learning stuff that we need to be having serious conversations about, we have a problem, because I want it to come from my mouth. And yes, I want him to be educated by a professional, because I think that's really important, a professional that is not the church. But we have to have that option. But I do think that there is a lack of conversation when it comes to sex and the body, and we make our children terrified of our bodies.
We've made sex a crime instead of a natural function of the human experience. And no other country really does that. It's like we whisper sex, like, oh, sex, like, and in Europe they're just like, oh, sex, like, oh, that's like, there's a brothel right there and a brothel right there, like, that's how it is, and it's like normal. It's normal.
I really wonder why. And I was thinking, like,
but it's only like that when it comes to women, though. Let's preface that, because I think I just feel like when it comes to sexual things, it's like,
no. Close your legs.
Yeah, women, close your legs. Men, boys will be boys. And I think society just has not gotten away from that.
I actually beg to differ. I think that our generation is going to change that. I was talking with a girlfriend of mine. She has 2 kids. They're a little bit older than Zaire. And we were talking about how I'm excited for Zaire to grow up, because we're breaking those generational curses. A lot of parents I know, maybe it could just be in my village, but a lot of parents I know are really focused on loving and nurturing our children and really giving them a life that is more free than
Hmm.
what we had, but also teaching them the basics that they wouldn't know because, when we grew up, I feel like we focus on so many other things, but I definitely think that it'll change maybe in like 5 to 10 years.
Hmm. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I don't think that I think that there's still a lot of people that are raised that old fashioned way, and it's just going to be a constant battle. I don't know if it'll ever completely change. I just think it's kind of about regions and where you're from and what you learn. But
There's more
with
of a movement of people pushing towards it. Maybe, like, you're right, not completely, but I think there's
yeah,
more people for what we're talking about versus them being against.
uh, Dumas, she's here again. She's like our constant listener. She's always here. We appreciate your support. Yep, and a
Yeah.
lot of young women end up having terrible sex lives because they never got the chance to explore themselves and what they want. Uh, Absolutely. Um, I I can't say I don't agree.
I'm unpacking it in therapy right now. It hits you so much later. It's like, why? But
Sydney says the 2000 generation is very open and
yes,
exposed to things.
listen, I just feel like we definitely are a more free, like, we don't care about what y'all think we're going to figure out on our, not necessarily figure out on our own, but just not create such trouble kids. Like, I think of the stuff that I am working through now. And I'm not sitting here saying, like, oh, my childhood was terrible, but just little minor things that if the community knew better, it would have been better for a lot of us. But I'm just really grateful that now that I know I can work through that and at least set a better example and set a better platform for my son. But it's tough.
Sydney says they are more open, and especially with the LGBTQT community. And
So move to the topic.
speaking of that topic, that just happens to be our next topic of the night. This one, this was very, ooh, it was it was a bomb. Florida, of course, we can always count on the state of Florida to drop something crazy, or wait to the worst possible time to do something. So this month we all know is Pride Month. Shout out to all of our listeners that are celebrating this month. Happy for you. We
I just
are,
had to say that.
yeah, we are with you. We are, we, want y'all to have a great month. But there's one person who could care less, and that is the governor of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis. And he decided to wait to the first day of Pride Month to sign a new law into effect, and it bans transgender women, transgender girl athletes from competing in sports and high school sports in the state of Florida. And his quote was, "Girls will play girl sports and boys will play boy sports in the state of Florida." And I'm curious to know from my viewers, like, how do y'all feel about this issue? Because I kind of feel like maybe I think it really depends on if you have a daughter. Like, I really think it might. Um, Yeah, he did what? Yes, he actually made it a law where if you are a transgender girl in high school and want to play sports as a girl, you cannot. You cannot compete against biological uh, girl athletes in high school in the state of Florida. So, um, how do we feel about this topic? Um, is he right? Is he wrong? Is there some way to is there a way to make this work for everybody? Or is it just one of those issues where we as a society are going to have to say that everybody has to agree? Or we have to include, or we have to, say this is fine. I'm
I don't think there's a right answer. I think that either way, no matter how this ends up, somebody's gonna get hurt. Somebody's
Relicia
gonna get
says
hurt.
that I think that one option is transgender women should compete against other transgender women. That's why it's inclusive but not unfair. And I've agreed with that too. But see,
So
what
I
comes
would
out
think
from
about
that is then
they're gonna say you're singling us
yeah,
you're singling us
yeah,
out.
then
And
you're
I get it, like
singling.
they're wrong. But like it's hard because I feel like neither side is trying to understand the other side because it's all about trying to make everyone be down for everything. And there has to come to a point where not everyone is going to be okay on either side. And we have to accept that and figure out a middle ground. I just have no idea what that middle ground would look like. And I'm not going to try to think of one because this ain't my lane. This is not my lane.
I just
I am curious to see what you all think, though.
it just I hear everybody saying like they should have their own league and they should or there's their own section in sports where they compete. I just wonder, if you had a daughter and you watched your daughter train every day to compete every day to be the best in her particular sport, and then someone who happens to be transgender comes, and I think there we have to acknowledge the biological difference between men and women, and she was to get beaten. How
But
would
they
you?
can always say, like, anyone can say, oh, well, my daughter did the same thing. She trained every day, she worked hard every day, and she is a girl just like the girl that she's going to play against. I mean, I can literally see both sides, and it's very hard. I see everyone, like you said, I see everyone saying that, them transgender having their own league or own sports. I think it would be
But
up
if
to
you did
them.
that though, wouldn't it be the same as it is in the law? I mean,
Be
I don't
nice.
think you'd be. I don't think you'd be. It's such a gray area, and I feel it's only going to get harder. I think. I think it's just only going to get. It's one of these situations that's going to get harder.
We
Uh,
have a lot of comments.
let's read some of those comments.
First of all, apparently Janae's in the house. But so Sinise says no, because boys with boys, girls with girls, and trans with trans. They can also play in the co-ed sports. I did not think about that. That is a very, very, very
True.
fair
That's a good option.
solution.
That's the probably the
Co-ed
best
sports
option.
is becoming very popular. That's really fair. That kind of means everyone wins. Shireen said, but what if there aren't enough transgender women who even feel safe enough to put themselves out there to even compete against one another? And that's what I was saying, like that singling them out and placing them in a box. Either way, those options, someone's going to get hurt. Relisha says another consideration that was raised by an activist is that depending on where someone is in the transition, their level of testosterone will be at a certain level. So if they're at the level of a biological woman, is there any advantage still? Or what about biological women who just naturally have higher testosterone?
Uh,
I just want to mind my business.
Brittany Bonds is here. She was actually my realtor that helped me buy the man cave. So you guys drop her some love, and hopefully she'll be a guest on my show because she has an amazing story. I just want to say that. She says that genetics are genetics. It's an unfair advantage. Can't be sensitive to everyone's feelings. I mean, that's a real take.
But
That's
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 also not the world we live in today because everybody is sensitive. It's just, I don't know.
it's rough, and oh man, I I guess I would maybe the switch is co-ed sports. Maybe that is the key. Like
I
just
think that's a great solution.
co-ed
I
sports.
just, because it's not fair. It's not fair to have a group of people feel singled out, and it's also not fair to have a group of people feel like, yes, I've been doing training all the time, but because I'm biologically a woman, there's a chance that someone born biologically male is going to play next to me and probably do better because they're just built
Yeah.
different.
But then that would also have to create a change at the collegiate level. Like
And it's like
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 everybody would have to
like
change.
you in boxing where they weigh people. I don't know, just to make it
Like
fair.
I mean, imagine co-ed football. Like I mean, because at that point, I don't know. It's just it's a big brain wrap. Like it is a lot to think about. But for him to go ahead, I think first of all, it was just very disrespectful to
Yes,
the
that was
month.
disgusting. That's the main thing. That was
And he
disgusting.
had been talking about this all the way in April.
Yeah.
So the bill was ready in April, but you waited to this month to do it. That's disgusting. Like,
Between Florida and Texas.
hey Janae, she says that there are a lot of advantages people, even of the same gender, have against one another. If I'm a swimmer and I'm 5'3", they're not gonna let me swim against just short girls. I'm gonna be uh, swimming against girls of all heights, and the girls that are 5'11" would have an advantage on me. Yeah,
Jane's like one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life, so I know she's
she
right.
is. Yeah.
Saying like if we can, if we're kind of like similar, if we have the same weight stuff, let's go.
Shireen says, sounds like someone needs to pull up at his house. Well, yeah, he shouldn't even be the governor anyway. But anyway, we're not going to talk about how that vote went down. Mr. Barely won and don't want to recount anything. But yeah, it was a really, I just feel like of all months to do that, why did you have to go make it a weapon? There was no need to make this a weapon. You could have,
It's kind of like people wake up purposely and are like, how can I piss off the people that I don't like or I don't agree with them?
oh yeah,
I
and
think their goal is to like just make people feel miserable for who they are, even though
yeah,
it really just I don't get
and
half
it's
stuff
the
that
way he
happens.
signed it, the whole backdrop of all the high school kids around him, and a girl on one side, the boy on the other side, on
But
Fox News.
that makes them more mad. The people that stand behind the people putting these bills and these laws into place, y'all support this and don't know how this is going to impact other people. And you don't care, but you signed up to be sure to take care of the American people.
Sinise said, "Yeah, but when you have a 6'7" trans dunking on in a high school basketball game, then people will be mad." Uh, I yeah. Man. I mean it. There's. I mean it's as if it's your child out there. I don't. I don't. Mm, I wouldn't know what to say to my child if they came into me and they said, 6'7" basketball player keeps dunking on me, dad, and we've been training every day. There's no way I'm gonna be able to stop that girl. I mean,
I mean, to be honest,
keep
if
trying your
it
best.
really bothers you that much, there are other places you can put your kids in sports. And I'm not saying make a scene and be like, I'm leaving because y'all got this trans. No, I'm saying the same way if I go into a store and I don't like what's going on, I leave the store. Like it's
Yeah,
very simple. You could just quietly exit.
exactly.
There are other people that will play
Go,
if
yeah,
that's
go
what
find
it
another
is.
league. And yeah, like I'm all for people being happy and doing what makes you happy because at the end of the day, it ain't my business. It just is not my business. So for them to make this like official state government business, I felt was just let the let the school districts make their policies or like what they want to do. Like there was no, it was disgusting. I just didn't. I felt bad the way he put it out there.
I'm
And
also curious how many people are upset with him who voted for him, though.
none of them.
You don't think anyone? I
No.
see these people sitting in office, and I'm like, I see a lot of people upset with y'all. But how many people are sitting up here upset and y'all voted for these people?
Janae says the playing field is never going to be level in athletics. Regardless, some people will outperform others for a variety of reasons. That's just the way it is.
That is very
Um,
true.
okay.
Hopefully, there will be a solution where people don't have to get hurt, but I feel like that's not going to happen because this is just the way this nation is.
And Sinise is right. It was taken to court in other states, and I think this law is going to end up being struck down. That's one thing. I'm being a legal student. This is going to end up in the Supreme Court, and it's going to be deemed unconstitutional just
Yeah,
by its grounds. It's going to be because it's discrimination, and,
yes, it is.
and it's going to get tossed out. And
And I just think of all the kids that
but
are negatively impacted by
remember, the
this.
court
Like,
now is what is it 6'3"? Is it 5'4" or 6'3"? I can't remember what the court is right now. So it's a conservative court, so you never know what games they're gonna play. Um, but yeah, it's an issue that I think it's here to stay, and it's not the last we're gonna hear of it. Janelle, what's our next topic? What you got?
Let's see. Oh, we need to talk about hip hop Rushmore.
Hip hop Mount Rushmore, and this is
They
on
have
the lady side of hip hop
yes,
Mount Rushmore.
yes. I just want to know that everyone agreed that Nicki Minaj was the missing piece, and I'll give my opinion at the end. Was Nicki Minaj the missing piece to Mount
And
Rushmore?
who are the other members?
That's a great question. I need to pull it up. It was.
I
I
know
don't know
Missy
why.
Elliott was on there.
Was she?
Yeah, she was on there. She was
Are
like the
you
third
sure?
face.
Did check the comment for me.
Hmm.
Here we go. Oh man, everyone's saying Nikki. Everyone said Nikki. A few people said. I know Foxy Brown came out. She was really upset, saying she should be on there. Um, who else was on there? Someone said Lauren Hill. I personally would have taken Lauren Hill
I would take
because.
anybody over Nicki Minaj. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
Anybody. Shit, like Foxy
Any,
Brown, put her up there. I'd rather see her than to see Nicki Minaj gets on my nerves.
but okay, remove your biased opinion of her.
Hmm.
Anybody, anybody. That's a bit.
I've just never liked Nicki Minaj. The over the top theatric, like is that. I think her best songs too have been songs where she's had strong features, nothing by herself. So, but a lot of people made me mad when they said Missy Elliott should not have been up there, and they obviously don't realize how many careers she has made for other people.
Think of the demographic.
You don't know what you're talking about. Like you really don't know what you're talking about.
We're
Um,
coming to the point where people aren't going to know who the artists are that we grew up with, which is terrifying.
it's like the artists now too really don't have that much staying power. Like how many artists that we know drop hits and then they disappear? And like I'm just thinking about the cookouts when we're like 50. Like what songs we gonna be playing?
I
And
feel like we have plenty.
oh, we have
But
plenty, but it's
you
like
know,
so many artists that jump in with a song and like don't do nothing else. Like let me
go ahead.
Brittany, yes, Missy needs to be in there. Uh,
I just
uh
don't have the
yeah,
creative.
definitely. Like if someone told me Missy's not in there, how am I sounding biased, Anthony? I'm not biased. I'm just saying, like,
Who does he pick?
who do you pick, Anthony? Who needs to be up there? Okay, but she opened up the door to what female rap is today. I wouldn't say that about Nicki though. I think Nicki
You
copied a
can't
lot
love.
of what Lil Kim left behind.
I feel.
Uh,
I'm sorry. I just feel like we forget that Little Kim existed, and it really makes
oh,
me mad.
Anthony says, Nicki's bars are way better than Missy Elliott's. Sorry, not sorry. Anthony,
Anthony,
dismiss yourself now. I
Anthony,
I can't believe you said that. I can't believe you said that. And
don't let
yes,
that
Denise,
go.
she
He
definitely
never
copied
said
Lil Kim.
before.
Even down to the hairstyle, she copied Lil Kim. Like I don't, I cannot, I can't put her on there. And then the way she handled herself when Cardi showed up, and she couldn't take it. Like I just, yeah, ooh, Anthony is right. Nicki is a female Lil Wayne. No, sir, Anthony. Oh, you are disappointing me today, bruh. She is a,
Anthony, no.
but I, what?
I'm not gonna get mad at Anthony
Hey,
because I love him so
Anthony, I
much.
love you, but
If
this one's for
you
you.
don't
This
ruin
one's
our
for
friendship,
you.
leave it. Leave it.
You're done. No. Missy just has huge cultural impact. So, so you're saying I mean, I think the Missy Timberland combination has been one of the greatest things that ever happened to hip hop, and I feel like she just gets very undervalued, and I don't understand why.
Who?
Missy, she's just very underrated, and I don't understand what. So, I really
That's
don't
because
get it.
these new people, all y'all want to do is make like 5 steps for a dance and then like have one bar that makes sense. But Lelisha says, okay, but she took it beyond where Lil' Kim was. Cultural significance, yes, Lil' Kim, but Nicki is global. Is that because Nicki is global? Or is it because Nicki has resources and
And it's a
technology now
different
that Lil'
era
Kim?
too. Yeah, that Lil Kim didn't have that back then.
If Lil' Kim had social media, if Lil' Kim had a dope marketing team, if she had, the money to have the graphics and thing, I don't think that we would be having this conversation. But I really respect what you have to say, Relisha, because you the bomb.
Sanice says you can leave, Anthony. Big Sis said it, not me. So you can talk to her. Hey Stephanie, happy belated birthday to you. Thanks for coming in. You have to look at what actually happened, and I agree. I'm not taking anything away from Nicki. I think she did what she had to do. She came, she became a phenomenon, and she is what she is. Just for me personally, if you're asking who I would put on there, I'm not gonna put Nicki Minaj on the.
Y'all are gonna hate me, but I would put Lauryn Hill.
If she could just show up to a daggone concert.
I'm talking about back in the day, Lauryn Hill.
I don't care. I waited in 2013 in Memphis, Tennessee, hot as hell, for her to show up. She was supposed to show up at 3:45 to the stage.
Change.
She was
Maya told us, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And y'all keep getting bamboozled.
Man.
But when Lauryn Hill would spit, or when Lauryn Hill had a track where she was rapping, I just feel like I go to a place that is just, and that's more so the type of music that I like to listen to, especially now. But Lauryn Hill, when she raps, I just, I'm like, Nicki who? And that's no disrespect to Nicki, because she did what she does what she does, and she does it well. But I just feel like Lauryn just said things that really just, for me, if your music changes my life, that's what matters to me. Nicki Minaj has never changed my life.
Yeah, I think I didn't like it. But yeah, Nicki can stay off there. And to say that she might be the female version of what Lil Wayne is now, but OG Wayne, heck no, definitely not. I can't.
Don't do that to Nicki. Lil Wayne is terrible now.
Yeah, she's the Lil Wayne.
If you disagree with me, I'm sorry, because I know you love Lil Wayne, and I appreciate. Anthony is a dedicated Lil Wayne fan.
Okay, now Anthony's trying to redeem himself. He says Lauryn Hill is one of the best singing rappers and rapping singers. And I mean, you could give that. You could throw Badu in there too, if you want to. You could throw her in there. I feel like you could really throw her in there. Hey Alexis. So the next topic, and this one was funny. It cracked us up a little bit. Go ahead and talk about your boy.
Who?
Old Bill Cosby.
Guys. Okay, so me and Anthony talked about this on Facebook the other day. So they
hold on. Janae said it, and I think that's a very valid comment. We love Lauren, but we give her a lot for that one album, though. And that is true.
Hello.
But I think why that album was so perfect. Like, that album is perfect, and I think.
Can we say the same thing for Nas? Because I feel like Illmatic is all he has. Outside of that, yeah, that's how I feel.
Speaking of a rapper that I think didn't get a lot of credit that he deserved to, I'm gonna say Busta Rhymes didn't get the credit he deserved for a lot of stuff back in the day, and at least on my, maybe not on my Mount Rushmore, but he might have a plaque next to it. Busta Rhymes has to be mentioned. I just felt like.
I was shocked J. Cole was up there. I was shocked. I was really shocked.
I think there's a lot of.
I don't believe he should be up there.
I think it's just like basketball. Your Mount Rushmore is about the area that you grew up in. And for me, I had a lot of older siblings, so I ended up listening to Nas, early Jay-Z. Like, that's what I grew up with. Like, Naughty by Nature, listening to that. So I was a little bit out of my time because of my siblings being so much older. So I really think it has to do with that. Ludacris is. Anthony is right. Ludacris is Ludacris ran the rap game from 2001 till about 2005 ish.
Because he loves him some Ludacris.
Ludacris was, and then Ludacris did the smartest thing. I think that a lot of rappers should take note of. He realized when the game was changing and it didn't fit him anymore, and he moved on to acting, and then stayed with features. And I think that was the smartest thing in the world. He didn't compromise himself, and I love that about him. I feel like. He knew
Ludacris
when it
was
was
giving
up.
y'all bars that was changing her life. Like he had me in the club lit, but besides that,
Nah, hey,
oh,
Ludacris was and then DTP, they had a good album, one good album. But like so I feel like Luda does not get what he deserved. He started with Crash and then it went from there. All right, go to the Bill Cosby thing. I want to make sure we get that in there. I mean Bill
Lord have
Cosby, excuse
mercy.
me.
Okay, really quickly, they're trying to make Bill Cosby take sex classes for the things he did, and he refused to take them because he wants to maintain his innocence. O.J. Simpson had the audacity. And first of all, O.J. Simpson is who he is because of us. Well, not us, but black folk.
Mm-hmm.
We raised up the wrong one. But he comes out and says, Bill, you should take those classes. We want you to get parole, blah, blah, blah. And I just feel like, sir, you're a murderer. And you should be in jail yourself right now. And why do people come out that have nothing to do with anything and just speak on stuff? OJ, you should be under the jail right now. Literally under the jail.
And I
That's
was
what happened with Bill.
I'm it. First of all,
Yo, they
this
should
man,
just lock him in his house.
how are you gonna take a class and you can't even see? Like what is he gonna read?
him.
What pamphlet is he gonna read? For one, he barely getting around as it is. Like I don't think he's gonna be here much longer. And this whole innocence thing. Say what you want, you're not. You're on tape saying you did it. You did it. Like Anthony, OJ's head is unnaturally large. It is, but to keep those lies in there, you got to have some room. And Satan made room for him. I don't know. That's the only way I can explain it.
It is so hard for me.
Well, we already knew OJ has no self-awareness. He literally wrote a book called If I Did It. You're right. He just doesn't know how to shut up.
Understand that, like, at one point in time, the black community was uplifting him because we're rooting for everybody black, but sometimes rooting for everybody black can be detrimental. That man killed that woman.
Sinise said it. OJ was our one break. And I think my thing is, if I had to get away with something like that, if I did it, I would be laying low for the rest of my life. Like, there's nothing I need to say to anybody. Everybody already has their mind made up about me. Like, so why would I
There's
talk
people
about
that
anything?
support him. The same way there's still people out here supporting R. Kelly. Like, there's still people that will say,
boy.
Like, that will say that O.J. Simpson
They're going to step in the name of love to the end of time. They're just not going to let him.
But okay, the thing that's so hard is that R. Kelly made a song for everything.
He did.
R. Kelly has a song for every moment of your life.
Peeing
and it's
on
really
people.
unfair for us. Yeah, you selfish piece of crap. I can't do nothing. I can't even watch
So can you listen to his music though?
No, I refuse.
You refuse. Do you all y'all out there, do y'all listen to his music? Sunny says not in this house. Anthony says black women who support Kels baffle me. He definitely ruined a lot of memories, Brittany. Yeah. I think the first dance I learned how to do was probably Step in the Name of Love. Like with like an actual partner. It was like the first thing I remember.
I can't imagine graduations, church functions,
weddings. How many weddings?
No R. Kelly. What are we playing? What
how many people stretched I Believe I Can Fly and sung it in church?
All we have is Leave the Door Open by Bruno. That's it. And that's not even appropriate.
Where you at?
R. Kelly, he ruined it for us all.
I'm in church.
But when it comes to Bill Cosby, it's really hard for me to... It's not hard for me to know that he's completely out of line and deserves every consequence he has. But in the back of my mind, I'm sad. The Cosby Show, and yes, I'm able to separate.
Hey, Ron John.
But knowing... You said what?
Oh, Ron John. Guy who taught me everything I know about my job today. So he's
Hello.
Hey.
But it's just really hard for me to know that this man, number one, ruined many people's lives,
I hate that song, Janae. I really hate that song. I hate that song, When a Woman Loves. Winner!
That's only because we played it so many times.
I'm forever indebted.
But the words are true.
Hey, they are, but I just can't stand that song. We were doing field shows to R. Kelly through at least 2010. Yeah.
Had Izzy singing songs,
But no,
all that.
I think Bill Cosby just needs to, and it's so sad because my dad held him up as like the shining example of what like good successful black man should be doing, with the Cosby Show and all that, and he didn't know, and luckily he never had to see this what happened, but it's just sad that that's what it came to. And I don't know for you, but does it make you watch the Cosby Show a little different? Or can you enjoy this? Because my thing is, can we separate the art from the artist? Like with R. Kelly, we're saying we can't listen to his music, but can we watch the Cosby Show for what it was?
It's putting money in their pockets. I haven't watched. I can't watch outside of the fact that I don't want to support him, but also it's hard. I don't think that these celebrities with these platforms, especially when they're doing stuff like R. Kelly did with music and how a lot of the music touched and changed our lives. I mean, I've cried to R. Kelly music. In the Cosby Show, for me, coming from a family where, my family kind of carried themselves the way that I saw on the Cosby Show, and it made me feel better, like, oh, there are black people that act like that. You're not just talking white and stuff. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. But they ruined it.
Yeah. And Brittany says, she can't separate the two. Anthony says, I can't turn the Cosby Show on. And it sucks for me because there's so many great episodes of that show that I love.
Watch it.
But I just see him and I'm like, when I watch it now, I'm looking at him and I'm like, what is going through his mind right now? Like, is he thinking about that person in the back of the set that he's going to go mess with, or some, person that's an extra on the show? It's like the lengths this man went to do what he did were ridiculous. Like, what kind of human do you have to be to carry around Quaaludes just to drug people and do this with? And it just, I don't know. I can't.
But my thing is, everybody deserves the same energy. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you look like. If you do something like that to somebody, you deserve the same energy.
Yep. Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, a certain president that I'm just not going to mention. I just feel like everybody deserves to get dragged. And though it may be painful to see it, I think it's an important part of accountability, especially within our own culture, that we hold our own people accountable for this stuff too. And instead of, because I knew a lot of people who were like, oh, well, Harvey Weinstein. I was like, does that make it okay? Because he went and did the same stuff?
Level of crucifixion, it just seemed like, I think that the black community is able to say that Bill Cosby was absolutely wrong. But if you're going to crucify him, like I said, if someone else does that crime, which Harvey Weinstein did, I saw the videos of Harvey Weinstein doing nasty stuff. And the media did not shame him the way they did Bill Cosby at all. And I just feel like wrong is wrong, period. And it is always.
And Janelle think he innocent. Anthony said,
I don't think he's innocent. I don't think he's innocent. I just be sad because he's so old. Old people shouldn't be being in jail and stuff like that.
But you did it. It's the same. I don't care if you're a Nazi war criminal or if you're a sexual predator. If you get caught, your time is your time, and you just gonna have to deal with that. Don't drop the soap. I mean, he ain't gonna see it coming anyway, so it really don't matter. I mean, it's karma.
He really does deserve everything that'll come to him.
He does. Like, he old and guilty. Exactly. He's old and guilty. And it's a huge downfall. I mean, it's a plummet from where he was. But man, I just look, if they caught who did Emmett Till, I don't care how old they are, lock them up. Yeah, I mean, to me, you're not getting a pass because of how old you are.
Whatever to Emmett Till, lock them up is too nice. You're not gonna use my tax dollars to keep them alive. Kill them.
Yes, the soap, Crystal. I don't care. He ain't gonna see it
coming. Like they did him.
He not that glaucoma real, yo. Ain't enough marijuana to clear that up for him.
You get old. If you have glaucoma, I'm gonna revisit episode 4.
You remember when he was on the title? Like, it's gonna be just like that. It's gonna be just like that. It's gonna get him just like that.
I do have a question for everyone. How are y'all dealing with these cicadas? I have not seen one. Not one cicada. I haven't heard anything. Nothing. But I see all these videos of y'all being tortured. Poor Janae posted a really great Instagram story of her running to her home because of the cicadas. I loved your
You know,
shoes,
there's
by
a
the way. Please
cicada
send me
STD
pictures.
going around apparently too. Cicadas have having a sexually transmitted disease.
They
Yeah, it's
apparently
crazy.
if they land on you, they're like peeing on people or something.
Yeah, it's something going on. But haven't seen any here in Missouri. Yeah, I'm out here in Missouri, y'all. I left the glorious city of DC for Missouri. But they're not really out here, so we haven't seen them. I guess it's the East Coast thing. Anthony says he's unbothered by them. Got some EUs. I'm living in an actual nightmare.
I would, and bugs don't really bother me. It's the sound. The sound is
Yeah,
what would drive me insane. If it like
I
got
remember
stuck
when
in
they
my
came out when I was little, and it was like you couldn't sleep. Those things were so loud. Um,
visit me, I'll feed you, and you can have a really good night's rest, but you can't stay for more than 48 hours.
They don't bother, but they managed to infiltrate the lobby of our building. Yeah, if you open a door next to them, they're going to get in. Luckily, they're kind of clumsy flyers, so you can kind of trap them and kill them and whatever, but...
Would you take a roach or a cicada?
give me give me a cicada. Give me a cicada all day. Roaches are fast. They are unnaturally fast, and they just don't like to die. And
the roaches down here are the size of humans.
Yeah, they're like the size of fingers and stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, give me that. I'll take cicadas over them hopping crickets too. Them things. Yeah, give me cicada all day. Exactly. Everybody saying a cicada, and I only have to worry about you once every 17 years. Yeah, I'll take a cicada.
Apparently they're gonna be gone next week, right?
Yeah, they come out, they bump and grind. Speaking of R. Kelly, they come out, bump and grind a little bit, and then they, back on into the ground.
But you know what? What a life. They traveled all the way to somewhere else to just enjoy themselves. That's a life that I want to live. Just
you said that was called Freaknik. It's called Freaknik. It existed.
For real.
It's not like now it's just called Bike Week. But yeah, I think I'd take cicadas all day, all day, every day. So what's next coming up for you, Janelle? What you got going on? Go ahead, plug some of your things that you got going on while we got time.
I just booked a new social media client. I don't know if any of you all follow Loza Tam, the head wrap company. The founder went to Howard, and I will be running their social media, so I'm really excited about that. Besides that, just another week of work, and I'm going to be in a wedding this weekend, and I'll be in the DMV this weekend.
Brittany, I don't know about that. It depends on who house you go to, and that house you showed off today. That one, I don't know. I don't know. They don't die, they multiply. Sure do.
Roaches.
Amani, oh my gosh. So we have a very huge VA rapper who's viewing us right now. Imani Blair. She's dope. She's got bars for days, and she has her own podcast called Lick the Rapper podcast, and it's amazing. Yeah. So definitely go follow her. I'm so happy to see you here. That makes me really happy. That just made my night.
Yeah.
But yeah, yep, you'll be in the DMV and everything. That's awesome. Me, I'm gonna try to recoup on sleep because I am not young no more, and I tore myself up this weekend. If y'all saw my Instagram stories, if y'all follow me like that's not me. that was a bad idea. But before we go, I want to thank you all for coming tonight. The conversation was great tonight. Oh my gosh. The comments were great tonight. So what I need y'all to do, share, like the page.
Denise is yelling at me via text. I'll respond shortly.
Thanks for the love, Imani. Y'all make sure y'all share this. Make sure you get it out there. We love interacting with you guys, and the more people, the more conversation we can have, the better we can have. And it's beautiful. We can talk about sensitive topics and still come out with respect for each other. And that's the whole purpose. That's what I love the most. Feel free, again, like we always say, we take like your requests or things you might want to talk about during the week. Drop us a DM on Instagram at Marcus in the Man Cave. Drop us one on Facebook. follow our personal pages. You can drop it anywhere, and you might see your
Yeah.
topic on here. So without any further ado, we out, y'all.
Bye, everybody. Oh, my lights on.